1 sec.
So, guys, as you all know, I love sports. I'm wearing the jersey today. I love them so much, I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down and we get fewer games and the sports aren't sporting like I want them to, FanDuel lets me keep the sports going wherever I want and whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost and bonus daily. That's right, there's something for everyone, every day, all summer long. So head on over to FanDuel.com/UCSS to start making the most of your summer. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball.
And with that, let's welcome in Kyle Snyder as he attempts to win his second career gold medal in the upcoming Olympics. Kyle, how you doing today? Appreciate you taking some time to join us.
I'm doing great. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Doing good.
Awesome. Well, Kyle, I'm just curious, how's the preparation going as you get prepared to take on your third Olympics and hopefully your second gold medal upcoming? How's the training and preparation going for that conquest?
Everything's going great. Training has been going really well. We got a good plan. And, I train at the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club in Penn State. So we have 4 of the 6, men's freestyle members on the team. So it's got great energy in the room, and everybody's doing well.
Kyle, how much different do the stakes feel when you have that Team USA emblem across your chest as opposed to whether it was Ohio State or high school? When you're wrestling for your country, how much different do the stakes feel in those type of situations?
For me, every match is important, whether I'm wrestling for Ohio State, whether I'm wrestling for Team USA, whether I'm wrestling for the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. It's like every match to me is really important, and I want to wrestle my best, and I want to honor God and because of everything He's given me. So, I think that is what helps me compete the way that I do in all these tournaments, is just because every match is important.
Kyle, I want to take you back to a match that you had back in college. You went up against a guy, I think his name was Nick. I think he went to NC State. He was on an 88 match streak of wins until he faced you. Were you nervous going into there when you went before that match? Did you know that for a fact that you was going to snap this record?
Yeah, Nick Wisdowski, he's a great wrestler, and I'm always nervous before I compete. It's just because I care about it and I want to wrestle well. But, I also always believe I'm going to win, and I expect myself to win every time I compete. And I had trained with Nick before, and I felt good about the way that training went. I knew it was going to be a tough match, but I had a good game plan, and it turned out well. It was a fun match, so it's good to wrestle people like that.
Kyle, how long can you do this, and what brought you back to do this again? Will this be your last Olympics, or will you be back 4 years from now again?
Lord willing, I'd like to wrestle for another 4 Olympic Games. I'd like to wrestle 7 total.
Wow,
that's my plan, and I'll be
Sheesh.
I'll be 44 years old when I finish that up. But my plan is really determined by what God wants me to do. I'm always saying I'll compete as long as He wants me to be a competitor, and that's what drives me. That's what motivates me, is my faith, and so that's what's most important to me. And I know that He's made me to be a wrestler now, and He's given me the skill and the energy and the support system and the right coaches and the body to do it. So that's what motivates me.
Now, I'm trying to run through the Rolodex, and I'll admit I'm not an expert on Olympic wrestling. Do a lot of guys wrestle into their 40s like that? Because I'm thinking like the greatest Olympians of all time get what, maybe 3 or 4 at the most Olympic?
Yeah, and especially in wrestling, part of the problem is there's just not a lot of money. People have to go into coaching, people have to get jobs because, it's just not you can't make a career out of it. But now wrestling's kind of gotten to a point where it is possible to compete that long if you're winning. So you better keep winning.
Yeah.
I better keep winning if I want to do that.
Would you be the most, if you make it to 7, would that be the most in wrestling?
Yeah, definitely.
What's the record for the most Olympic appearances by a wrestler?
I think there's a girl in Azerbaijan this summer that is looking to medal at her 5th Olympics. I don't know if anyone's ever wrestled in 6.
Wow.
So,
Well, you mentioned winning, Kyle, and if you look at your resume, 179-0 in high school, which is just absurd by itself. 179-0, incredible. 75-5 at Ohio State with 3 national championships. You were the youngest wrestling gold medal winner in 2016. What would a second gold medal mean to you to add to that illustrious list of accomplishments?
I mean, it's hard for me to think about. It's I just feel like I'm getting prepared for, another event, and I don't really think about, what winning more medals is going to mean and stuff like that. I mean, I'm just focused on competing the way that God wants me to, and executing the game plan. And at the end of my career, I think I'll look back and be able to actually answer that question in a better way. But at this point, I'm just focused on executing the job.
Kyle, last year I had the honor of going up against some of the Ohio State wrestling guys for this Tyvis Tries things. It didn't go well. So I need you to, the next time I do, because I went up against Sammy and we had a nice little back and forth, but he's really good. If I decide to go up against these wrestlers again at OSU, can you give me some tips, some beginner tips of what I need to do to win? Because I have to beat them at some point.
Run. Go ahead. You still there? We got you.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's all about your stance. The fundamentals in wrestling, it's what it's all about. So keep your knees bent, forward pressure. I think that's where we would start. And if you got a good stance and you're working on those fundamentals, then you can wrestle with most guys until you get tired. I mean, they're going to get you tired, and then that's going to be tough. But before then, you'll be all right.
Are you in Paris? Are you there now?
We leave on Monday.
Monday, okay. And then when does the competition begin for wrestling?
I don't wrestle until August 10th and 11th.
Oh, wow. So you got some time.
Yeah, you got some time.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that far.
Yeah, so we'll be in Paris for 4 days. The opening ceremonies are July 26th, and then we leave and we go to Normandy, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
That's where our training camp's going to be. And there's, I've been, learning about all that happened there. And I'm really just excited to go. I feel like it's going to be really inspiring. And I think it's going to help me in regards to competing, just seeing what, we did there and what those soldiers did. So I'm really excited about that.
What does your training look like between now and then? Because obviously you're trying to peak at the right time, but you can't lay around and do nothing between now and then. So what does a training day look like for you when you're this close to the Olympics?
I mean, it's just things are starting to taper down. We got 3.5 weeks until I wrestle. So just in the morning, usually strength training, doing some footwork, some conditioning, and then in the afternoon, practicing a lot of recovery, massage, hot tub, cold plunge, sauna, making sure my weight is under control. Practices are getting shorter, and just really focusing on what I need to do when I go out there and compete.
Kyle, my dad was a wrestler growing up, and he always taught me, if you see someone with cauliflower ear out at the bar, he's the person you don't mess with under any circumstances. And with your track record of being an Olympic medalist, an NCAA champion, a high school champion, I think that puts you in the category of like the top 0.00001% toughest, baddest dudes on the planet. Is there ever a situation where you go into a match or an environment where you're like, I think one of these guys could actually take me? Like, there's no way that thought ever crosses your mind, right?
No. No. Yeah. I mean, I always think I'm going to win. And I always think I'm the toughest guy and the strongest guy out there. So, I mean, it's just the way I think.
And along those lines, my dad always said wrestlers were, and he mean this in a good way, just a little crazy because it's such a tough, physical, and enduring sport. What makes, from a mental standpoint, a great top-tier elite wrestler separated from just the really good ones?
Man, that's a great question. I think it's a mixture of there's a lot of great wrestlers that are built in so many different ways, and some of them aren't that tough. They're just really good at technique, and they still win. So I think that there's a lot of different ways to win in the sport. I couldn't say that there's just one thing. I think a lot of it has to do with just God-given ability and talent to be able to compete. These coaches around the world are great, and they know how to teach and train up kids into becoming really good wrestlers. So obviously being tough, being strong, good conditioning, and willingness to fight, loving to fight, that's all really important.
Kyle, before I let you go, obviously you remember the 2024 class, Hall of Fame class at Ohio State. What's that mean to you, and just what's some of your best memories of your time at Ohio State?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge honor, and the class is pretty cool. You got Gene Smith, Braxton Miller, Greg Oden. So I used to walk to the RPAC at Ohio State, and Greg Oden would be playing basketball pickup games in there with people. So, that's pretty cool. And, I just loved competing and loved training and that whole thing. I was at Ohio State. We won a team title in 2015. That was exciting, and I had great teammates and coaches. So, it was really just a blessed time while I was there.
Awesome. Well, Kyle, we appreciate you taking some time to join us this morning. Best of luck in Paris. We are rooting for you to come home with
we'll be watching,
a second gold medal. We can't wait to watch a little wrestling in the Olympics. So best of luck and bring home a gold for Team USA.
Thank you guys so much. God bless you guys.